I think I've picked a really odd time to try and commit to doing daily videos because everything seems to be in like a transitional, we don't know what's happening, we don't know where things are kind of way. And it just means that, I mean, I've got things to talk about. There's lots of stuff going on, but none of them get answered. I can't talk about it and then tell you what it was or how it went or that kind of thing. Looking at the whole kind of conversation with Oliver that I talk about regularly with his diagnoses and whatnot, we've still not had a speech and language therapy update. They gave us like a brief report over the phone and then never sent anything. We've not had a doctor's update in months. School is kind of in limbo because it's going really well at the moment. So it's kind of weird being in this place where I'm in the habit of just turning on the video camera and talking and just sort of saying, yeah, this is what's going on and working through it. But actually, all of that is kind of on ice. It's just there at the moment. And that's great. I mean, it is a positive thing. I'm not complaining. Don't get me wrong. I love it. It's a really nice time for us after a very long year of everything feeling like we were just constantly being hit around the face over and over again. That every time Ollie felt like he knew what the situation was with himself, something would derail him and upset him. This is a really nice time where he's just had a really calm kind of holidays and week, and we're really proud of him. He's come a long way. Like today, he got a note from his teacher. It's Sunday, so he got an app where the teacher gives feedback on him, and he got a note through saying he's had such an amazing week last week. He seems to have grown up a lot, and he's doing really well, and he's really listening, and he's really trying, and she's really proud of him. And here's these points that they all get accrued. You know, I think that it's a bit like Harry Potter. The house with the most points each month gets like non-uniform and stuff like that. So he got a load of points for his house. He was really pleased. He's funny taking praise because he just kind of he's a bit. He doesn't know how to take it, so he just kind of says something silly and then acts really coy and awkward, but that to me means he was very happy with the fact he got it. He's also delighted, he was very happy with the fact that he's already got twice as many points as Emily, who normally would be ahead of him at this point, well at any point, bless him. So he's delighted with that, and I'm thinking this shows we're very lucky that he's got a teacher this year that he's enjoying already, and she seems to be trying it. It's really cool. So yeah, I feel like I've accidentally made that sound like I was whinging that there's nothing going on, but what I'm trying to say is it's a bizarre feeling being in a situation where that is ticking along, and I know it won't always, and I know it's not always going to be plain sailing, but right now I'm savouring it. He's had a couple of bits over the weekend. Meltdowns aren't going to go away. They are still there. We had one today because we all wanted to go to the park, which he did, but then he also wanted to just carry his bike along, and where we were going it wasn't really suitable, and it's little things like that just led to a big falling out, like where he just wasn't happy, and we had to kind of calm him, but we're handling it. I think part of the reason it also feels less dramatic, I mentioned about taking the CBD and not being sure whether it was working and things like that. I started taking it at night instead of in the morning, and I do feel so different even from that. I feel like that has made a difference somehow, whether it's just that my mind is calm while I'm sleeping so I'm processing better or what. I mean, I'm just making up suggestions, but the point is when he was having a meltdown today, for example, I just stood there and talked to him in this kind of calm. I was almost whispering. I kept bringing my voice down, just saying it's all right, just listen to me, but I'll listen to you, and we're going back and forth. He had another one later on as we were leaving the park. I think he'd had enough, and we could tell he'd had enough, and we were ready to go, and then he started to have his meltdown, and we didn't want to. I think normally I'd have made the mistake of trying to get him to come away and sit down in the car and try and find a relaxing situation for him, when what he needs is to play out a little bit, not have us try and do anything. And like when we're trying to talk to him gently when we could see it was happening, and we knew that asking him a question was going to make it worse, so we stepped back. And I said to Claire afterwards, like, lately I feel different because I'm calmer. I feel like I'm not running out of options. The train's not run away. It feels like it used to feel like everything was falling apart, and I was trying to grab onto something to make it work, and sometimes it would work and sometimes I'd make it worse. But lately I'm just kind of stepping back a bit. That's helped us quite a bit with, I mentioned about him playing with the neighbours. It's really nice knowing that they know, because they live with the same situation, that when things are kicking off, I don't have to stand there and feel like, oh my God, I need to stop this because they're going to think something or whatever. It's been nice to just say to him, it's all right, come over here, whatever. And like tonight, I went to tell him it was time to come in. He's had such a nice time playing outside with his friend. They are getting along so well. He said, can I give you a hug? And she was like, I've always got time to hug you, Ollie, and gave him a big hug. And they saw the moon was coming up and were pretending to be werewolves, and they just get along. Her mum came out and said, oh, they just understand each other. It's so nice. She keeps saying this every time we see her. She just says something really positive, and it's given me that kind of glow of, it is really nice. I feel like he's just found someone who gets him, and they get along really well, and they don't have that kind of awkward bit where, I don't know, it's just, I don't know what it is. Even when he plays with boys in his class, sometimes they just have a point where they're a bit like, I'm finished now, and they just go to walk away, and he's a bit like, what, that came out of nowhere or whatever. And I guess they're just not used to the transitions that he needs or whatever, whereas she just seems to get it, and they seem happy to just get on with it. They're encouraging each other to go in and stuff like that. So it's just been really nice. This wasn't supposed to be all about Ollie, but it is a big part of what I blog about. But I do feel like I am still in quite a weird position myself, because obviously when I'm not here, most of the time I spend my time is at work. And I'm in a position at the moment where they've asked me what role I should be doing or what role I want to do. And I'd looked up, I think I said before, I looked up titles. I did, at first I had no idea. I was kind of like, this is what I do. These are all the topics I cover. These are all the things I'm good at. What should my role be? And then I did research, and basically came up with nothing at first. And then really weirdly, I wasn't looking for someone to email me. Someone emailed me a job spec, just spammy, I think, via LinkedIn, seeing what you do, are you interested in this? And I was reading the spec and I thought, that is 50% of what I do every day. Basically, I've discovered that I'm basically doing a job of a communications manager and a job of a bid manager, as well as various other little bits like a sales executive, you know, like an account manager. So I'm doing like 3 different roles at the moment, and they basically said to me, okay, I sent them a message saying, look, I've had this spec through. This is basically half of what I do at the moment. The other half is this full spec. We need to have a chat about what my actual job is. So they said, let's have a couple of beers and figure it out. And at some point we need to pin that down. But I feel like I'm really conflicted now, because there isn't really a position that's all 3 of them, unless I just carry on in this weird limbo or do 3 types of jobs at once. It's just, I mean, don't get me wrong, like I'm not doing the account manager one that often. I'm doing very little of that. The other 2 I'm doing as and when it's needed, and it kind of pivots quite nicely. But it's just bizarre trying to decide, because they're just such different roles. One's like managing a whole kind of bid for a company that's going to do business with someone, and the other one's writing lots of internal communications and whatnot. And writing the documentation, writing the advertising, writing the website, which is all things I've already done. Like our company's site is written by me, and I did it. I wrote a pitch for an award that we entered last year, and we won it based on the pitch I'd written. And then we've just submitted in something I wrote for an award this year, and then we're finalists. We find out in a month and a half whether we've won that one. And it's just like, they're really impressed with what I've written. I've managed to write something that's won an award for my company. Yes, the things they did are what I wrote about, but they were like it was a really good message and story that you'd written. So I feel really positive about that, and I think, yeah, I could do that, but it's a bit of a left field kind of plan, and I'm very bad at looking 10 years down the line. I have no idea. I have like no kind of, if you said to me, what do I want to be in 10 years time? Like the things that I'd say, I don't really, I mean, I always say to Claire, well, I'd love to have like loads of books written and be shilling books for a living and stuff like that. But then equally, I'm like, we don't have a situation that can allow for that. I had about 3 months ago, I had a company ask me if I fancied coming and doing a similar role for them. And then, I mean, it was really difficult, because it was like, I'm happy where I am, but they're offering like double what I was on as a basic and double, and that again as a bonus. And I looked at it and was like, oh, like it's just not right. Like I can't, things were too out of kilter. You know, the balance with home wouldn't have worked. The balance of the situation with Ollie wouldn't have worked. I'm happy where I am. I wouldn't want to randomly just stitch up where I work now. I like them, you know. And it was just one of those really bizarre situations. But I feel like at some point I've got to figure out I feel really like this age, this era of my life, it's just this weird transitional thing. And it's like, what I don't want to do is be doing this in 10 years. But equally, I don't know how you go. Oh, it's just. I was chatting to a colleague about it, and he said, I've quoted him before. He said, I'm the only person he knows that just seems to constantly be pursuing a grander plan. And I said to him, but equally, I don't know what that is. Like, he said, no one he knows is really doing it. They're just applying for jobs, and then if they can see a nearby rung, they apply for that. But I'm kind of like, all the nearby rungs I don't really want to do. And I don't know who you speak to about that. I'm doing a vlog on it obviously now, but I sort of talk to Claire sometimes about how I just need to acquire some kind of situation where I've got a coachy person that just says to me, this is what we're doing, let's go. I don't know what it is. I just feel really like I lack that, okay, bang, that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to shed everything else. Like, if I knew I wanted to do all the writing all the time and I just shedded everything else and cracked on with that, that'd be fine. But I don't want to do just that, and there's reasons why that wouldn't work. But if I wanted to do the bid stuff and drop all the other stuff, it doesn't really work either, because I like the writing. And it's just bizarre. I mean, really, perhaps I should just be locking myself in a cupboard and writing out whatever I want and can constantly 24/7. But even then, things just get in the way of it. I do little bits as I go along, and it's weird. I don't know. I feel like my entire 30s, in fact, have been this weird, just things just going on, and I'm just kind of experiencing it. It's a kind of ironic, because I guess that's because when I did teaching, I trained to be a teacher, knew the plan, I was going to be a teacher. The plan with that was I was going to teach to become a head of the department, and I was going to become a headmaster, so on and so forth. Turns out teaching's not for me, not even slightly. Wouldn't go back to it unless something dramatic changed about the world, really. It's a nice to have. I don't even know if I still can. I think I can. I think we established I still can. But it's just, I don't think it's for me in the current way it is. It's too brutal. Like, they're not treated very well. They're not paid enough. Not that I'm complaining about the money, but they're just not looked after. It's not right. I think we need a better situation before anyone does it. But that kind of left me in this spiral of, okay, I went and just got a job with a friend and then was good at it, and okay, cool, I'm good at this, let's keep going. And it seems a bit weird that I hadn't planned that, and maybe I don't know, part of me feels like maybe I'm better off without a plan, but who knows. Which, I mean, tying it all in more focused, I feel like I'm a bit like that with the vlog, because I was kind of like, I'm going to go down a couple of days a week, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do daily again, I'm going to vlog all the time. Then today I was like, I literally did nothing. I took the kids to the park. I got up today, we fiddled around with stuff in the house, took the kids to the park, come back, they all played outside, I played Final Fantasy. That was literally the entire day. And I was like, I can't vlog about that. And then I was going to put out saying I'm not going to vlog, I'll vlog Monday to Friday and not vlog on weekends. And then I was like, no, I do want to do it. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy reading your comments. I enjoy just talking. You know, ultimately, if 2 people watch this and they both thumbs it down, I'm kind of like, it helps me. It's nice for me. I enjoy it. You know, it's not about that. Obviously, I'd love to release this, go away, come back and see it had 50 million hits and suddenly my life had changed. You know, part of me wants to learn how to do, a lot of me wants to learn how to do this properly. That's definitely something. That is definitely, like, in 10 years' time, I'd love to be able to do this better, much better. I'd love to get better at it. But I do get wary that there's just loads of things that get in the way of that, like better kit or better setup or actually going out and doing lots of things and having stuff to talk about. But I don't know, I feel like I can do lots of things, but they're not happening. This isn't a downbeat rant. I'm smiling, it's all good. It's such a weird, surreal feeling, because I feel like I can do lots of things, but I don't know what to do with those things that I can do. And I guess that's normal. I guess you're all feeling pretty similar. I don't know. What do you do? That'd be really interesting. Like, I'm hoping someone will just go, oh, I do this. And I'm like, oh, how did you get into that? Do you know what I mean? And part of me thinks long term, I mean, again, Claire said to me, if you could do anything, would you? I said, I would love to just run my own thing. I want to run something. I want to be the big dog who just runs it. And it's, you know, I learn a lot from the company I'm at now, because I can see, I was the first person in the door. I literally sat at my desk, helped them set up the phone. They had meetings. I'd overhear stuff and suggest things. And I've had a lot to say in little bits and pieces and talks and suggestions and so forth. And I've learned a heck of a lot from them. So I think I kind of want an idea. And I know, like Shelley in the comments often says, that's an idea, that's an idea. But most of these things I have already thought of. Like the childcare thing I thought about yesterday, I looked at that as an idea. But you'd need one-to-one care. It would just cost too much to do, because if you had too little cost, it would, the people wouldn't be qualified enough. So it doesn't solve the problem, which is unfortunate, but I did think about it. It's just, I don't know. I feel like I'm lounging around until a spark goes off, and one day it will. One day, I'm confident it definitely will. And again, my friend laughs at me in a nice way and says he's the only person I know that feels that hasn't just given up. But I don't know, I think I'm lucky that, again, I've got friends who have taken a punt and done stuff, and it's worked well for them. And I believe that eventually I will have that inspiration and do that thing. But I don't know. So yeah, I'm going to stop talking, because I've run out of things to say on this topic, really. And I'm sure you've all heard it before. And it's not a complaint, and it's not a whine. And I'm not trying to get you to say, oh, it's all right. Or some days it really does make you think, time is just going by. I'm just witnessing time go by, and I'd love to grab it by the horns, I think, sometimes. But it has been a nice chilled out day, and I guess that is, I wanted that yesterday. Yesterday I wanted to chill out and do nothing. Today I'm like, why haven't I got the moon on a stick, and why can't I just, I don't know. But yeah, I feel rested. That's cool. I'm looking forward to, we've got a meeting tomorrow with school about whether Ollie can go back full days, how often he can do that. We're thinking we need to do that slightly quicker, because we think he's ready for that, and it's upsetting him more being off. I'll let you know how that goes. I need to ring speech and language therapist and say, how's that going? I mentioned in passing before that she told us he performs something at a age 12 level, but she didn't tell us what, and we've never heard back. So I'm kind of intrigued to know what area he's excelling in, so we can promote that to him if he wants to. If he's interested in it, let's go for it. But I'm guessing it's maths, but we'll see. And if it is maths, fantastic. We'll see if we can pursue that beyond that. But yeah, I just want to know. I want to know what they thought and what the doctor's saying, because we're in limbo with that. And this whole limbo thing is very bizarre. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Subscribe, like, comment, all that stuff. Let me know how you're getting on, and I'll speak to you tomorrow. Cheers.